I've looked at every villa community across Dubai and nothing compares to the value for money of this right here. If we look at the price per square foot, we look at the location, we look at what's coming around about, we look at the developer, everything points in one direction that this will be an amazing place to live and an amazing place to invest. Before we start, I'm Jack Eason. I'm Dubai South's #1 ranked broker. I've sold over 50 villas in this community and I'm here to tell you about why this should be your next purchase. To give you an understanding on why it's a great option now, I need to take you back to the start because a lot of people assume that Dubai South is a very recent thing that's only just popped up, but actually it's originated from 2006. This is when the airport, Dubai Al Maktoum, first got launched. It wasn't completed and planes didn't start flying until 2010, and then passenger planes started flying in 2013. Another point about the airport, yes, it was launched in 2006 and passenger planes started flying in 2013, but we've really seen a game-changing point in Dubai South in late 2022 when Dubai South Al Maktoum Airport was announced to be the main operating hub of Dubai, which is where all of DXB's flights would be moving to. So Emirates and all major airlines will be moving to Al Maktoum by projected 2033 to 2035. The exact date is not confirmed, but what that meant was the whole city now had a reason to be moving south. Not long after this was the Palm Jebel Ali resurrection. So there's two massive reasons why the city is growing south, which won't be changing anytime soon.
The developer, Dubai South, who are they? What's their track history? This is a 100% government-owned developer. South Bay will be their 4th villa community. First one being Pulse Townhouses, second one Pulse Villas, third one Pulse Beachfront, 4th South Bay, and 5th Hyatt, which is just going through launch now.
The first residential properties we've seen were in 2016, which were low-rise apartments and townhouses, Pulse Residence just down the road, which then progressed into Pulse Villas in 2021, Pulse Beachfront in 2025, which I will go on to talk about more soon. And now where we're sat today is South Bay, which is starting launching this year. So to understand why it's been a great investment now, we have to understand the history. This is a government-backed developer who own all of the land. They own everything down to Emaar South, right along to Expo, all of the airport grounds and all of the residential district, which is where we are now. So it's important to understand this before we can really understand why it's a great investment. Now, one common objection is why would living near an airport be attractive? It's not the fact that you're near an airport that draws people here. If we assume that by the time that Dubai Al Maktoum Airport is fully operational and everything is here, by then it's projected there will be 1 million jobs created. That's not just in the airport, that's all of the logistics, all of the travel, all of the tourism, all of the real estate, obviously the airport, everything included, 1 million jobs. Right now in Dubai South, it's projected there's around 50,000 residents here. So that's 20x to get there. From an investment point of view, that's absolutely incredible. What we've seen already is some people have made literally over triple their investment. I had one owner in Pulse Beachfront, bought a 4-bed in 2022 for 1.7 million dirhams. He sold it last year for 4.75 million dirhams and he only paid 70% of the payment plan by the time he sold it. The payment plan is something I'll explain more, which is another great reason why investors are investing here instead of elsewhere. The fact that we're near an airport does not mean that there's planes flying right overhead. It's been very carefully thought out that the runways actually run north to south. That means that the planes will fly over Jebel Ali industrial area, where there's no residential, or it will fly into the desert, meaning that there's nobody that's living underneath the flight path. If we look on the left and the right of the airport, you've got Emaar South and Azizi Venice and some other projects coming on that side. On this side, you've got the Dubai South residential district. You've then also got Emaar Oasis, the Mac Lagoons, Emaar Heights, Emaar Grand Polo, and the list goes on this side. So living on the left or right side, you're not going to be affected by planes coming overhead. If we assume with most developers, you buy the property after year 1 and by year 4 it is completed. Usually by the time of handover, you need to have paid 80% of the property value, with the remaining 20% paid at handover. So let's say it's a 5 million dirham property, 4 million dirhams is paid in construction, 1 million is paid at handover. The way that Dubai South have structured this is amazing for investors. So only 50% needs to be paid in the time of construction, 20% at handover, and 30% on a 2-year post-handover payment plan. Why that's great for investors is that a very common investment strategy in UAE is to buy on day 1 of construction at the launch and sell at handover. That means in a 5 million dirham property, you're buying it at the start, you're selling it at completion when only 50% is paid, 2.5 million dirhams. By that point, the property may have appreciated, say, another 50%. So it's now 7.5 million dirham property. You've put in 2.5 million dirhams and you're selling it with over 100% profit. 2.5 million dirhams goes back to the developer and you get 5 million dirhams in your pocket. This is why so many investors have made incredible returns in Dubai South. Now, I've spoken a lot about Dubai South on a general basis on what brought us to this point, but what this video is really about is South Bay. If any of you don't know what that is, it's the newest villa community that's come to Dubai South. It's by Dubai South developer, a 100% government-owned developer. And there's some exciting features here that you won't find many other villa communities. What is it? It's 3-bed townhouses with a built-up size of 2,900, which is very generous, all the way up to 7-bed lagoon mansions with built-up sizes of up to 14,000. So the range of properties is incredible. There's 6 phases, there's 2,200 properties, and there's a massive demand from end users for this community. The first phase will be handing over in the next 2 to 3 months. It's currently April 2026, so by summer we will hope to see the first handovers. We're currently sat here in the show villa, which is a 6-bed mansion. Now, I mentioned in the start, the value for money. What do I mean by that and why is it so good? If we were to look around, a standard developer's 3-bed or 4-bed, it's going to be small bedrooms, it's going to be no upstairs living space, it's going to be open kitchen, which is probably half a living room and an L shape of a kitchen. It's very condensed. Dubai South have gone the total opposite direction. There's very few developers now that are giving layouts and sizes as generous as Dubai South repeatedly have now done. Pulse Villas was the biggest of its size when it got released. Pulse Beachfront, they increased it very slightly. South Bay, they've now increased it again by about 5 to 10% on the BUA. And once again, Hayat, which is the one that is now just going through launch, it's got even bigger. So this is now becoming the flagship thing of Dubai South, is to be giving massive sizes, very generous for end users. So it's not only generous for investors with the capital appreciation, it's also been very generous to the end user. And ultimately, this is the main driver now in why prices continue to go up after the handover. You're gonna have parks, you're gonna have everything you need will be right on your doorstep. There's even a mall that is named South Bay Mall with 60 outlets, 200,000 square feet, 400 parking spaces, all within the community. Now, first phase is handing over in June, July. A policy with Dubai South is usually there's 3 months between each phase. So if every phase comes 3 months after that, that should take us to about the end of 2027, where the full community will be complete. Why this is so good for an end user product is, like I mentioned, the built-up sizes are very generous. You've got 3 beds that are along the outside of the community. Most of these are single row. You've got most of them middle units, many corner units. 4 beds, these all come with a downstairs living space, upstairs living space, roof terrace. Every single bedroom has an ensuite. Now, who is building these properties? Dubai South is the developer, but who's the contractors? So, Dubai South has always went with 2 main contractors. One of them is called Jinko. They originate from Sharjah. They have done Pulse Villas, which was the community before Pulse Beachfront, and they're doing half of South Bay. So they have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 6. The other contractor is called Al Kharafi. This is an Egyptian contractor. They have done Pulse Beachfront, which is the one before South Bay. They're doing half of South Bay, so phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5. And they have just won the contract for Hayat, which is a 2 billion dirham contract that they won literally just 2 weeks ago. Why is this important? Well, these are the people that are literally building the properties. These are the ones that if something goes wrong in the building, they will be the ones that come to fix it. They do all the snagging. They're the ones that are literally with the bricks and cement. Now, if we were to look at South Bay compared to Pulse Beachfront, which was the cluster before this one, what are the main differences? The main ones are that there's an increase of about 10% on the built-up size. Why is that important? Well, the developer have actually been very good in that they take on feedback that they've had from previous communities. In Pulse Villas, there was a complaint that the 3 bedrooms had no upstairs living space. So what did they do in Pulse Beachfront? All 3 beds had an upstairs living space. In Pulse Beachfront, the main concern was that you couldn't extend the living space out into an open space because it was a sort of an L shape, and that the master bedroom had no balcony. What have they done in South Bay? The downstairs is a big open square space, and the upstairs and the master's bedroom has the balcony. Why is this important? Well, you're working with a developer that actually take on feedback of the residents that they've got to then make improvements in their next cluster. When it comes to layouts in South Bay, it's kept very simple. There's one layout of 3-bed, one layout of 4-bed, one layout of 5-bed villa, and then you go into the mansions where there's also one layout of 5-bed mansion, one layout of 6-bed mansion, and one layout of 7-bed mansion. Now, amenities in South Bay, what does it have to offer residents? The main one, which is the main selling point of the community, is the 3-kilometre lagoon right in the middle of all 6 phases. On top of that, you've got the clubhouses, which have got gyms, sports courts, cafe areas, things like this within inside. You've got swimming pools separate to the lagoon, you've got sports fields, you've got a kayaking club, you've got a shop, you've got literally every single thing for family living that you could want right within the community. So if you live in South Bay, there's not that much requirement to ever leave. As phase 1 is coming so soon, it does mean that a lot of these amenities
won't be ready quite in time for phase 1 handover, but if you're patient, then you've got a whole host of things coming your way that will hand over stage by stage. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're an investor and you're looking for rental expectations, what we can assume is that prices may slightly increase from Pulse Beachfront because, as I said, it's a 10% bigger BUA. With the current situation going on, it is hard to tell a little bit, but personally, I would predict that 3 beds will rent for around about 160 to 180, 4 beds around about 190 to 230-ish, 5 beds would be in around the range of 300k for the townhouses and villas, but there's not actually been anything come to Dubai South this size, this quality before, so putting a number on what it can rent for can be quite difficult. So it will be interesting to see what the numbers come from that. Okay, so who is living in Dubai South? The main demographic that I see is actually pilots or Emirates crew or airport staff coming to the community, whether that be as a long-term investment, whether that be as a long-term home because they know that eventually they're going to be working from down here. That is the main demographic of employers I see in Dubai South. In terms of nationalities, British and Indian are by far the 2 most common nationalities I see. After that, a lot of Arabic, Lebanese, still a lot of Western Europe, so French, German, Spanish, but British and Indian is definitely the main 2. As there's 6 phases of South Bay, phase 1 is coming soon. That means mortgages are possible in phase 1. However, if we look at phase 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can still buy these, but only with cash. A lot of mortgage buyers want to take advantage of the potential better prices in phase 4, 5, 6 because they're further away from handover, but with a mortgage that's not possible right now. I mentioned the very, very favourable payment plan, which is transferable to the new owner, but that's only if the amount is paid in cash now. So what we're seeing now, given the ongoing situation, is there's a lot of sellers that are potentially over leveraged in phase 4, 5, and 6 that maybe bought a property that they couldn't quite afford to get onto the later stages of construction. These are the ones selling now, and we're seeing a lot of cash-rich investors come in and take some favorable prices in South Bay 4, 5, 6. The reason why we're not seeing that in phase 1, 2, and 3 as much is because these properties are so close to handover that owners have no more payments due up to the point of handover. By that point, they can sell to a mortgage buyer, and there's a much bigger market of buyers there because up to this point, it's only been cash buyers it's been available to. However, we're entering a time where there's now all this big pool of mortgage buyers waiting to come and buy the property for their end use. Now, on to the main point that everybody wants to know, pricing. What are these going to be worth? If we look at handover, properties are going to be in the region of 3 beds, 3.5 for middle units, up to 3.8 to 4 million for end units. 4 beds, you're going to be in the region of 3.8 to 4 million for middle units, 4.2 to probably 4.8 for 4 beds. 5 beds, there's no middle unit 5 beds, everything is semi-detached. You're going to be around about 5.5 to 6 million by the time of handover. In some cases could be more depending on location and plot size. Now the mansions, 5-bed mansions, you're going to be around about 11.5 to 12.5 million. 6 beds, you're going to be around about 14 to 16 million. And finally, the 7 beds, the real monsters in the community. These can go all the way up to 25 million. There's one transacted at 24 in construction already, which was an incredible deal. So yeah, I mean, you're ranging from 3.5 million up to 25 million. Could it go higher than this? I'm sure it can. Prices have increased a lot up to now. I don't see why this would stop anytime soon. So This is South Bay. This is going to be the best villa community in Dubai South, and in my opinion, it is, and many other people's opinion, it is literally one of the golden value for money villa communities in Dubai right now. If you don't know about it, come and learn more about it from me. I'm in the community very often. I've sold many properties here. I will be in the community for a very long time to come, and I would love to share more information with you about it. If you're interested, my WhatsApp is in the description. Please do get in touch and I'll be more than happy to help.